So today we're going to look at a Barre exercise in the left hand, and I'll show you the exercise, and you can just pick up all the tips for free from the video and pick up the exercise from the video too. But if you feel like it, this is number 16 from my 20 favorite exercises book. I have two technique books, the 20 favorite exercises, which is a kind of a quick study and includes tab. And then I have another technique book, which has a lot more Barre exercises, so many more, but it's a notation only. So there's links for those under the video. So let me show you the exercise first. I'll just play it for you just so you can see it. And then I'll go over a whole bunch of tips about how to play Barres and how to approach the exercise, and just about some of my personal experiences dealing with Barre and teaching it to my students, and some of the challenges you might have to overcome. So here's the exercise. We'll go to the 5th fret here. So the first thing I'll say is be careful about strain in your left hand. If you're new to Barre in general, then you should break this exercise up. Don't try to just play the exercise and hold that finger down, because your finger will get sore and that won't necessarily improve your technique. That actually might make it worse in some ways. So let's take it really slow, break it into little sections, and make sure that you're practicing at a high quality level. Once you have the quality down, you can increase the amount of time that you do Barres, and because it'll take less tension and it'll be less of a strain on your hand if your technique is really good. So before you just tackle the whole exercise, I recommend that you just break it up like we're about to do. So the first thing I want you to do is just place your finger across all 6 strings and have your finger touch the strings, but don't push the strings down to the metal of the fret. Just have them like hover on top. So you'll touch it, but you won't push it down to the actual fret. Make sure that your barre is nice and straight. And the reason we're not pushing down yet is it's much easier to control your finger and have dexterity in your finger when there's no tension involved. And so a good way to do that is to just not add the tension, right? So make sure your barre is nice and straight and that you're close to the fret. So this isn't good, this isn't good, this isn't good, this is pretty good. You want to be so close that when you actually push down, you can feel that fret along the side of your finger. A real thing to be careful for students is that sometimes their barres are crooked. So it's close to the fret here, but not over here. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but that's no good. It has to be close at every string. So just make sure that you're taking a close look. Use a pencil if you want, and that by each string, you are in fact close to the fret. If it's not straight up and down like that, it's not going to be easy to do it without tension. So now that you've done that, let's apply pressure only to the strings that we're using. So we're going to play the 6th string first. We're going to go 1, 4, 3, 2. But don't push all the strings down with the whole bar. I want you to push only the area of the barre that is needed for the particular string that we're using. So what that looks like, if I bring this up a little bit closer, is that you're kind of like this, but you're only applying pressure at the top. So if I have over-exaggerated, it would be like applying pressure there. And then when you're on the first string, applying pressure there. But we're going to keep our finger down actually on all the strings though. So we're trying to kind of create like little areas of the barre where the pressure you'll build up control over where you're going to apply pressure. That will help you solve problems like squeaks in parts of your bar. If you're trying to compensate for squeaks and buzzes by applying pressure to the whole barre, your hand will just get so tired, right? So apply only to the 6th string, and then apply only to the 4th string. Now, it's okay if you push down some of the strings around it. No one has so much control over their barre that they can push down only one string. But you can push down a couple around it, but don't apply pressure to this area over here or really to the top. And then fifth string, so apply pressure just to the fifth string or approximately to the fifth string. Third string. Fourth string, second string. So remember, you're just pushing down on the second string. You're trying not to apply too much pressure on the other one. Third string, first string, and then we're gonna apply pressure just gradually from the first string down, and now you're going to keep pressure on the whole barre. So only at the very end of the exercise do you have to apply pressure to the whole barre. That's a really good way to start practicing so that you can build up some dexterity in the finger and some specific attention to individual strings within the barre, instead of applying pressure to the whole barre. So that's the introductory thing. Now, a couple of extra tips about barres. First thing, instead of a clamp between your fingers, try to apply a bit of a weight, to use gravity, so the weight of your whole arm. So you can think of your elbow kind of falling to the ground, and by a little bit of weight, that's helping put the barre down. You can practice this by getting rid of the thumb. So just like put the thumb off to the side and do a barre. That you would never play like that because we do use our thumb when we play barre, but as an experiment so that you understand that you don't have to vice grip, get your thumb out of the way and try doing a barre without the thumb. You might find that some things happen, like there's a little tiny bit of like pressure on the guitar, so that as long as you're in a good position, your arm here is weighting down, it's just resting. You should be able to just do it like that. So you can see my thumb over here is off to the side. So I'm kind of bracing my arm and letting my arm fall, so gravity and the weight of my arm is doing a lot of the work. Instead of a vice grip, the more you do this, the more tired you're going to get. The more you do this, it's just the weight of your arm. It's fine, right? And when you put a little bit of both in there, it's not so hard. You don't need very much of either. So it doesn't take much effort. And really, to push these strings down does not take that much effort. These strings are pretty wimpy. So a little bit of weight and a tiny amount of squeeze, although I'd say almost none, is all you need to do the barre. Just as long as you're close to the fret. If I'm not close to the fret, it's just a mess, right? But if I'm close to the fret, it rings out nice and clear. If my barre isn't straight, it's no good, right? But if I'm close to the fret on every string, then it's just fine. So when you're practicing this, one string at a time, and then you can stop. Relax. Do the next string. Stop. Relax. Stop. Relax. So you can go through the exercise like this, perfect each string until you can do each individual string in the exercise without buzzing or anything like that. And then once you've done that, then you can go through the whole exercise while keeping the barre down the whole time and see if you can make it not buzz. But you can't just like brute force it. Otherwise, you'll end up you might be able to do it, but it won't be something that's relaxing or really appropriate for repertoire when you have to hold it down for much longer.